Good afternoon. On behalf of Marcus Smith, the Smith family, Speedway Motorsports, and Texas Motor Speedway, we welcome you to Media Day for the September 14 SuperMotocross World Championships Playoff 2 at Texas Motor Speedway. Thank you, Justin Barsha, Ryder DeFrancesco, and welcome to Texas. We have a couple of Texans here today. Grant Harlan, originally from Hawaii, but Justin, Texas, and Ty Masterpool, Paradise, Texas. All cool names, so they've got to be riders, right? All really cool names. So thank you all for taking time to be here before the playoffs start at Charlotte Motor Speedway next week. Also, thank you, Sean Brennan, Damon Pajak with Feld Entertainment for being here today. The SuperMotocross World Championships is a spectacular, new, and exciting event for Texas Motor Speedway. September 13 and 14, we'll see an entirely new group of race fans here at the Speedway, many for the first time, for 2 full days of activities, both on the track and in the Fan Fest. Texas Motor Speedway is celebrating our 28th season of racing and events in 2024. As one of the top sports and entertainment venues in the country, we are always looking to add premier entertainment and events for our fans. The SuperMotocross World Championships fit that bill perfectly and is a significant tentpole event for Texas Motor Speedway. As part of the Speedway Motorsports family, we are honored to be hosting all 3 rounds, with round 1 at Charlotte Motor Speedway and the finals at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Thank you, members of the media, for attending today's activities. The Fort Worth, Dallas sports market is 24/7, 365. So we really appreciate you taking the time to be here today. Also, thank you, Dave Hart and our TMS team for putting this on today. We hope you have a great time out on the track and look forward to seeing you back here on September 13 and 14 for the SuperMotocross World Championships Playoff 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. At this time, I'd like the riders, if you come up to the front here, we'll have you all up here at the to do a little Q&A. You've each got, if you've probably seen where your nameplate is, if you just sit at that seat. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Sean Brennan with Feld to do a Q&A with the riders.
Thank you, David. And David, thank you for members of the media. We appreciate everybody being here. All of our athletes, thank you. My goodness, this is year 2 of the SuperMotocross World Championship Finals fueled by Monster Energy, and we are super excited. This is new for our sport, and this is the culmination of Supercross racing as well as outdoor racing. For the second time in history, we're combining both disciplines in our sport. Every other sport has a playoff and a postseason. These athletes that are here today have all earned. These are all seeded athletes. So everything that they have worked for and earned starting last January in Anaheim and ending just last weekend at Ironman is a culmination of everything that they have worked so hard for. So on behalf of the SuperMotocross League, congratulations to all of you guys. We really appreciate you being here, and we're excited to get this postseason kicked off next week and being back here in 2 weeks at Texas Motor Speedway. This is going to be an amazing facility. I know that our track construction workers are excited to be here because there's so much room. This track will be completely unique from what we saw last year. It'll be completely unique on what our fans will see in Charlotte, as well as what they'll see in Las Vegas. So truly excited to be here, and thank you guys. Congratulations on an amazing season. Justin, I'll start with you. My goodness, you have some personal news and a lot happening with you right now. Can you just bring us up to speed on the big news, but also going into the playoffs? You've had some time off the bike now. So how do you feel with where you're at and your prep so far?
Yeah, definitely. It's been busy, really busy. Having another kid, so that's really cool. Due in February, so that'll be exciting. New challenge, in racing season, having a kid will be interesting, but I always seem to thrive. I only have one kid now, but when I had my kid now, it was good for racing, so I enjoy that. It's fun, keeps me on my toes. I had to take off quite a few motocross races. I was struggling with the knee and the hamstring on separate sides, so that took longer than expected. I was planning on coming back to motocross, doing a few races, but it didn't work out as planned. I guess getting old, it takes a little longer to recover, but I'm really excited, to have the SuperMotocross finals, especially being here. It's like a fresh start for me. The season's kind of winding down for everyone. They're looking at next year, and I'm kind of looking at, all right, 3 more races, fresh start. I can kind of go out in these 3 races and show what I got. Am I 100%? No, but it's great that there's some races I can do it, and I'm more of a racer than a practicer. So yeah, definitely been working extremely hard. I did all my therapy and recovery in the UK where my wife's from, so that was really good. I was able to get strong, and I've been back on the bike for 6 days now. So it's not a lot of time, but I'm feeling good. Just working through things, getting comfortable, but really looking forward to being here in 2 weeks, doing some racing. It's hard to think about what you're looking at now. We're going to drive some cars around, but we're going to throw a ton of dirt in here and have an epic track. And I feel like I do really well in the SuperMotocross per se. You got the jumps, and then you got the speed of motocross. So it's really exciting, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a pleasure to be here, and I think we'll have some good fun today.
Well, I know the fans, on behalf of all of the fans as well as everybody in this room, welcome back. The sport is so much better with you in it, for sure.
Thank you.
Ty Masterpool, you are the feel-good story of the summer for sure. Started out on a 450, ended on a 250, a new contract. Tell us about your summer and what you're looking forward to as we head into the postseason.
It's been pretty crazy starting the season off on the 450 and then switching last minute was definitely pretty last minute, but looking forward to it. The last couple rounds didn't really go as planned, just kind of been getting caught up in first corner pileups and all that. But looking forward to the finals and stuff. The bike already did a couple days of testing at our facility, and really liking the bike, really loving it, and fly out to California to do some more testing, and it's gonna be good. Excellent.
And let me remind everybody that these are all seeded athletes, so they have earned their spot in the top 20. Justin Barsh is 9th in SMX points. Ty is 11th in SMX points. Ryder is 10th in SMX points as well. And Grant Harlan solidified with his consistent outdoor season, 19th in SMX points as well. So the points will reset here in Concord. So all of these racers have a chance now because everything will reset back to original. The winner will 25 all the way down to 0 based on finishing positions. So everybody is still in this. And for Justin, I'll remind everybody that these playoffs, there is $5.5 million up for grabs as well. So there is still a lot of racing and still a lot of great racing that's going to come down to that final round. And the way that the points adjust, and starting with single points in playoff 1, double points for playoff 2, and then the world championship with triple points. It really is designed to come down to that final moto. So Ryder, I'll go with you next. Boy, you have been consistent all season long. All of the hard work with the indoor stadium season of Supercross, and then being consistent outdoors as well. Tell us about your season and what you're looking forward to here coming up.
Yeah, our goal with this year was just to race every round. Some finishes were subpar, and then the other ones were actually really great. So at the end of the season, I started doing better, and we started figuring out the bike a little bit more. And now that I feel like I'm in a good spot to come race these last three, is good. So I'm stoked. I'm glad that everybody has a shot at winning and making some good money. So I'm stoked and to be here. And I did good at Charlotte last year, and the last 3 are one of my favorites.
Awesome. Grant, you've been vocal, started off a little slowly coming off of injury for Supercross, but boy, put in a really, really solid pro motocross season where you have earned this seated position. So tell us about your year so far.
Yeah, started Supercross kind of late in Dallas here. Came off a broken hip from Motocross Nations last year and didn't really give myself much time to ride or test or anything before Supercross, but I wanted to kind of build myself back into race shape and see if I could score a couple points in Supercross, because I know that helped me out a bunch last year with my seeded position for the playoffs. So did what I could in Supercross, ended up with 13 points or so, which kind of helped me towards the end of outdoors, secured one of the final spots to be in the playoffs. So built through Supercross and then had a couple pretty good rides this summer, a couple that weren't so good, just kind of still dealing with the lack of fitness and figuring the bike out and stuff, but had a pretty good summer considering, and looking forward to get started in the playoffs here.
As are we. And with that, we'll go ahead and open up to members of the media for questions.
So, Adam with Racer X, this is for Justin. So, it's been a while since an outdoor style track has been to Texas. I know we've always gone to Arlington for Supercross, but being an outdoor style track for Texas, does it bring back any memories from like your amateur days when you're racing at Mosier, Lake Whitney, Oak Hill, all the GNC races?
Yeah, as an amateur, I've always raced in Texas. Like you said, a lot of good racetracks, Oak Hill, Whitney, Mosier, all those tracks. So good memories in Texas. Always enjoyed coming here. It was always, back in the day, you just travel in the motorhome with the family. So, great memories, and it'd be cool to come here. Obviously we're always, in stadiums in Texas, not really racing motocross. So to bring it in the Speedway and, bring that speed back up, and the fans will be obviously juiced up always in Texas. There's a ton of fans. So, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be obviously great racing. There's a zillion great racers, so we'll have to be on our toes for sure. But the biggest thing for me these last 2 races, just have some fun. Sadly, this is the last season for our team, the Trolley Designs team. It's moving in-house now, so it's special 3 races for us to do as good as we can, but also to have a good time and reminisce a little and make some good memories for the future.
You had one top 15 last year in the SuperMotocross that came at SMX, so we're going to be there. Now you've got the added incentive of racing in front of the hometown crowd in race 2. What did you learn last year from those races that you think you're going to bring into 2024?
I definitely learned that starts are more important for those than they are for a normal outdoor race. We do have 2 20-minute motos, but the tracks are a little bit tighter, a little bit, I would say, tougher to pass just because of the tightness. Charlotte or Chicago last year was probably the best one for that because it was a little bit more open. So this year I think the tracks are going to be kind of a mix between Charlotte and Chicago last year. So just get better starts and try and run up front with those guys.
Question for Ty. When you go to these new tracks, you're not familiar with it at all. Is it really that hard, or are they, for you, is the adjustment the same from one track to the next, whether you know it or not?
For me, that's the biggest thing we practice at our facility. That's why we pretty much have a new track every day for outdoors, and then Supercross, it's changing up constantly because that's kind of the biggest thing. A lot of the outdoor rounds, your qualifying lap comes from the first one. So, that's why we're constantly changing tracks and constantly just doing it because a lot of it's how fast you can adapt to it and all that. So yeah, that's why we believe in doing that. So yeah, honestly, I like the different tracks and all that. I look forward to it.
For Ty and Grant, James Harris, Toyota's Race Week. Just wanted to ask you both, since you live nearby, other sports, you've got home field advantage is a big deal. Maybe not so much in motocross because the fans aren't the factor maybe that they are in other sports, but you do get the advantage of sleeping in your own bed, the familiarity of being here. How much does that help you in the middle of this chase? Both speak to that.
You go ahead.
Yeah, there's honestly pros and cons to that. I mean, it's pretty cool sleeping in your own bed, but then you have like just a lot of people coming there and a lot of responsibilities with that. But no, I'm looking forward to just having a home race. I haven't really had a home pro race or anything like that besides Supercross. So that's pretty cool. Like during outdoors, I think the closest round for me was Colorado and stuff. So looking forward to just having the friends and family out here. It's gonna be cool. And then yeah, sleeping in bed and all that. I don't know. I don't really care about that too much, but yeah, just mainly looking forward to having the friends and family here and having a home race is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I live 30 minutes down the road, not too much closer than Ty. And I mean, for me, sleep in my own bed, kind of home cooked meals, don't really have to go out too much, is pretty nice. And then, yeah, like you said, the pros and cons of being a home race, there's going to be a lot of friends and family. So, you want to do, extra good for them. And sometimes that can bring a little bit more pressure, but it's definitely cool being so close and, not having to drive too far.
For Ryder and Justin, can y'all talk about, the going from Charlotte to here to Vegas, just the tracks and the challenges or whatever you like or don't like about as you go through this?
Yeah, I think the Charlotte, the first one last year was a little bit tighter for us, and then we went to Chicago, and like Grant said, it opened it up for a little bit more passing, and yeah, it was a little bit faster. So for me last year, I stuck with a more Supercross setup than outdoor. So yeah, I think moving forward this year, we got a little bit of data that we can look back on and see, but yeah, I think just the tightness, and I think this one will be pretty open, but at the same time, starts are a big key to these 3 rounds.
Yeah, these super motocross races for me is icing on the cake, man. I'm glad we have these 3 races to do, obviously, because I've been out and I haven't been able to race. So yeah, anything is great to be here at these super motocross races. Charlotte, I lived up there. I raced for Joe Gibbs Racing for quite a few years, so it'll be a pleasure to go back up there, see some friends. So that's exciting. New race here, it'll be great. And then Vegas, we haven't raced in Vegas in quite a few years, so be good to be in Vegas as well. But yeah, it gets wild in Vegas, so it'll be exciting to see what goes down there. But like I said, it'll be icing on the cake to do these races. I'm looking forward to seeing the fans, all the people I miss at the races, and yeah, get after it and go for the podium.
Justin?
Yeah, Justin Schuler, Kicking the Tires. This question is really for all 4 of you. We talked about going to certain venues, going back to your home tracks and things like that. Just in its sophomore year, we've seen some really iconic venues with these 3 race series with the Super Motocross World Championship at LA Coliseum and now Las Vegas coming up. Where would you guys like to see one of those 3 races be in the next few years or several years? Is there a place, a facility, whether it be an existing dedicated motocross track or another facility that, like a Texas Motor Speedway or something like that, that is kind of in the back of your guys' mind that'd be like, this would be so cool to display our sport on the world scale of this specific venue or anything like that?
I think for me, it's fantastic. This year we're going back to Vegas, like I said, but I think to take it to the next level, we should take this thing to Europe or something and bring it to an F1 track or something wild like that. So I think that would probably be a huge step for the sport and making it the world championship. So I would say, I'm sure the boys at Feld are already working on things like that. So I'm probably saying it and dreaming it and wishing it, but it'll probably happen sooner than later. I'm sure of it.
I mean, personally, I like the Texas Motor Speedway. I think I think the Texas fans for, in years past for motocross and with Arlington Supercross and sometimes Houston Supercross are always pretty good. I feel like the stadiums are packed out. So I think it'll be interesting to see the fan attendance for this one. I think it's going to be pretty good. So hopefully it sticks around.
Yeah, then I think for me, I don't know, it doesn't really get much better. Home race and then end in Vegas. So, yeah, no complaints from here.
Yeah, no complaints, but I'm from California, so I think there would be a lot of cool venues there that you can go to, like the Rose Bowl or somewhere like that. But yeah, I think anywhere close to home is where you want to race.
For any of you guys, visually it looks like what you guys do is kind of dangerous. Did anybody, for any of you, when you were younger, try to talk you out of doing what you do? And say, do something, play basketball, do something, just not this. Did you have any of those?
I mean, yeah, people think our parents are nuts. I mean, it's it's a dangerous sport, but it's no way to live life in a shell, man. We're my parents, that when I was growing up, they were like, "You're right, it's time to pick a sport," and they named off every sport you could think of. And then they said dirt bikes, and that's what I chose, and I was lucky to be able to do that and carry it into a career. And but obviously people are always, "Well, I can't believe you let your kid do that." Da, da, da. And now having kids, I get it. I'd rather my kid, maybe pick something safer, but hey, you gotta let them live their dreams and have a go at it. So I'm grateful to be in this position, and I've been at it a long time, since professionally since 2009. So it's been an awesome sport, and to see it grow, and it's been a great career for me. And it's amazing. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah, I think for me, my dad raced when I was younger, so I was basically born into it, and I had no choice. But they asked me if I ever wanted to play stick and ball sports, and obvious answer was no. So I'm here now, and I'm grateful for it, for sure.
Honestly, I think my parents would be kind of happy to hear me if I wanted to do something else. Obviously, it's very dangerous and all that, and but for me, I don't know. There's just nothing like riding a bike. You know what I mean? It's just you and the bike out there. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life right there. It's just you two. So, I mean, to me, it's what I love doing, and my parents support it. Everyone in my team around me supports it. So, it's what I love to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the biggest person that's tried to talk me out of it is me sometimes. But like we've all said, it's what we love to do, and we'll just keep doing it.
As for Ty, so when you're riding back home with your brother, is it really helpful for you to, like, whenever y'all are battling and riding your 30-minute motos, is that really helpful for you, just like going back and forth with your brother?
Really helpful. I mean, his speed's right there. Unfortunately, he's kind of been having a lot of problems the last couple of years. He had 3 back surgeries and then caught Epstein-Barr and all that. But yeah, his speed's like, dude, whenever we're at the train track, he's like pretty much like only a second off of me and all that. That's really not much. So, unfortunately, he's just had a lot of adversity the last couple of years. But, it's a lot of help riding with that. But, if anything with me, it's getting me to calm down. Like, the intensity is no problem for me. Like, I don't know, whenever I can be out there riding by myself, and I'm like, there's no problem with the intensity. It gave me to kind of relax and calm down. It's kind of that. So, it's nice to do that just for passing practice and all that training. So, it's pretty sweet. And especially since it's my brother, we, like, really trust each other. So it's, like, honestly, like, we'll get closer and I'll hit him, he'll hit me, because it's like you got that trust. He's not going to do something like counterfeit or do something like that. So, we honestly race dirtier and all that just because of that trust. So, it's pretty sweet.
Dan Beaver again for Ryder. Last year started off so strong. I think it was a 4th at CMAX, the top 10 the next week, and then everything kind of went away at the Coliseum. Now you're entering the playoffs with a really strong run last week at Ironman, 7th, I think. How do you reverse the trend from last year? How do you keep that one bad finish out of the mix?
Yeah, it hurt me for sure, just because the last one is triple points. I think it's just consistent and getting good starts. I think if you put yourself in a good position, it is easier. Just being consistent. And last year I had one bad race, and that was the last one. So yeah, just looking to keep it on 2 wheels and have 3 good weekends.
Otherwise, how do you feel about the points? The single points, double points, triple points, making that last race so significant. It hurt you last year, but are you a fan of the points structure or what?
Yeah, I think if you're in a good position, you'd like it. But like last year, I didn't like it as I finished LA. But yeah, I think if you're in a good position, you have 2 good races, and you can kind of throw everything at the last one. You're in a good spot. Yeah, I like it just because everyone has a shot at it.
Yeah, this message is for Justin. This is Dave with Whiskey Throttle Media. I just want to talk about your experience. You've been in the sport for quite a while now. How have you had to change your mindset, especially going into these SMX rounds where the purse money is so big? You're now a father. You're going to be a father of 2. How have you had to change your approach to racing from when you were a young man till now?
I'd like to say I haven't changed my approach much. I've definitely learned a lot, and having experience definitely helps a lot at the races. But into the races, in this sport, if you're in this sport, you're in it 100%. There's no 90%, 95%. It's all or nothing, and that's kind of always, that's how I live my life, is 100%. So if I do anything, it's going to be 100%. So for me, that perspective hasn't changed much, but the experience has helped a lot. Hone my skills on the track, and doing things like this today, it just feels more comfortable because I've been doing it so long. And I'm excited also to touch on the points thing. Like, each race you get more points, which is great. I think for me, not racing a lot and not having a ton of riding time, I'll get better with time. So I'm excited for the points thing. Obviously, it can hurt you or it can be great, but I think for me this year, it's gonna, help me a lot. So yeah, experience is, you can't buy experience, that's for sure. So I'm excited to have that on my side. If I didn't have the experience, I probably, in the position I'm in now, I probably wouldn't be, racing these last 3 races. So it's good to be in my shoes. Thank you.
Yeah, for Justin. For fans who've never been to one of these before, kind of the older statesmen in the group, talk about what they can expect. Why should they come?
Yeah, what can you expect out of combining Supercross and motocross together? It's exciting, it's thrilling. You have the jumps, you have the high speed being in the motor speedway, so that's extremely exciting. There'll be a ton of racers, and it's all the best racers. There's no in between. You have to be seeded into this. There's obviously a last chance qualifier for a few guys to get in, but it's the best of the best racers in America, so that's extremely exciting. So you have the good racers, you have the speed, you have the excitement, and then also in the pits with all the semis, the bikes, and the fans, the experience is next level. There's always something going on. There's never a time like, I've been to NASCAR races, and there's a little bit of sitting around, hanging out, kind of, but with Supercross and motocross, it's always going. There's always something to do, something to see. Freestyle guys doing jumps in the pits. It's just a thrill all day long. I would say if you get bored at a super motocross race, there's something wrong going on, because it's thrilling and exciting all day long. So it's cool for new fans to come and experience this and see it, and we're growing the sport, and it's always since, like I said, I've been at it a long time, since 2009 till now. I've seen it grow, and it's really impressive. Feld's been doing a fantastic job, and it's a pleasure to be here and see the sport build.
Question for Ty. We talked about this at Ironman last week. Your situation heading into the playoffs this year is markedly different than it was last year. Just tell us about your journey last year and some of the challenges you were facing, and how important it was for you to race the playoffs facing those.
Yeah, pretty crazy actually. It's kind of one of the hard things. Don't have too much experience to take away from last year's, because so at Ironman I woke up with just this gnarly pain in my stomach, and I showed up to the race, did first qualifying, and only could do a lap, qualified like 6 or so, then went to the Asterix medical crew, and he felt my stomach. I just thought I had like a stomach cramp, something weird, and he's like, dude, I'm like 80% sure you have appendicitis. He's like, I think your appendix is about to rupture, and I was like, There's no way. I was, like barely even knew what it was. But yeah, anyways, long story short, went to the hospital, got a CAT scan, all that, and yeah, had appendicitis. Couldn't race that day. Caught a flight right back to here. Was in the hospital for like 3-4 days, and yeah, it was crazy. The second I was down in the surgery room about to get my appendix removed, and I was like, dude, felt a little bit better. And I talked to him. I was like, I have 3 more races left. Like anything I can do. And yeah, she pushed on me and pushed it. She's like, yeah, it's not too bad. So yeah, they pumped me full of antibiotics, which kind of messed me up during this season. It's kind of why my fitness was out of it. But yeah, anyways, I got antibiotics, stayed at the hospital for a total of like 5 days, and then I raced the last 3 rounds with appendicitis. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. Thank goodness there was no Supercross whoops, because I hit them a couple times. They hurt like hell. So yeah, I just raced the last 3, and then I think I got 6th overall or 7th or something like that in the final one. And then yeah, so it was kind of crazy. It was really hard. Like I could only ride at like 60%, or my heart rate would get up, and yeah, all kind of variables. Like it was weird from all the antibiotics. I tore my calf in Supercross just because it wears at it. So yeah, not much experience to take away, but yeah, definitely sitting in a lot better spot this year and all that. So yeah, just looking forward to it. It was pretty fun. Yeah, the tracks were pretty cool. It's just definitely different. You don't really know what to expect. I mean, you have the track maps and all that to look at it, but yeah, you don't know how it's going to be until race day. So yeah.
One question for Justin. JB, you talked about your injuries and how you kind of had to back off at the end after Unadilla at Pro Motocross. Can you just talk about how maybe a couple of years ago, before the SMX playoffs, before Feld and MX Sports came together to create the playoffs, how that would have been the end of your season, but now you, and we see guys like Roxon and Webb all making this decision to come back, get ready to contest these 3 races for the Ultimate Championship.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. It's previously, yeah, your season would have been over. That's done. But luckily, all the Supercross season, the motocross season are extremely important because you need to get those points. You need to get seeded in. So luckily for me, I was able to get plenty of points and put myself in the top 10 and in a good position. And I was able to say, okay, I'm racing at 60%. I need to take off some time, get healthy for these last 3 super motocross races. And that's what I was able to do. But previously, I would have probably kept suffering through the rest of the motocross season, and then took the off season, got healthy, and been ready for next year. But now I have the opportunity to come out here. There's a big prize on the line, a lot of money, and have 3 more races. Like I said, for me, it's like a fresh start. Even though the season's coming to an end, it's like a little present for me to have this. So yeah, it's super awesome that Feld's been able to do this with obviously Supercross and motocross coming together, putting this whole thing together, Super Motocross in the playoffs, and yeah, it's awesome. I'm really stoked on it, and looking forward to racing these last 3.
With Racetracks again, Grant. So congrats on an awesome outdoor season and making it into the SMX finals. My question is, so are you already preparing a couple races in advance before the outdoor season ends, trying to get your bike set up for this style of track, or do you just go straight from outdoors to testing for this style of track?
I went straight into testing for the Super Motocross. Actually, yesterday was my first day. I got sick at Ironman, so I wasn't really able to ride too much this week, and yesterday was the first day I felt good enough to actually get back on the bike. But the last few weekends, I haven't ridden too much. It's been pretty hot down here, so I've been trying to keep my body healthy, which obviously didn't work, but been trying to keep my body in good shape for these last 3, because last year I got, was my first full year of, 17 Supercrosses, 11 outdoors, and, by the time the playoffs came around, I was pretty smoked. So was just trying to keep myself in a better spot coming in this year.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Everything that we're doing here, combining Supercross and Pro Motocross in partnership with the OEMs, the factory teams, and the best athletes in the world, is really combining the best of Supercross as well as Pro Motocross. And you heard Justin speak to it. And that is not only the competition on the track, but the uniqueness of the tracks as well, blending the best elements of indoor stadium racing and outdoor pro motocross racing as well. But also from a fan experience, everything that we're doing is a 2-day event, which is much more in line with what fans expect at the Pro Motocross Series. If you like to line the fence, as a lot of fans do, you can do that at all 3 of these races. But they are 2-day events. Specifically here at Playoff 2, the Friday fan zone will be open to the public 11 a.m. to 6 o'clock. We will have a press conference, another formal press conference for you guys at 11:30 on Friday at all 3 of these. And that is open to the fans. That is something that is unique that we are now able to do at these races. And then Saturday Fan Fest, that ticket comes with your ticket, your event ticket. So Friday is a full day of activity. Saturday, you do not need to purchase a separate ticket for Fan Fest. That is part of your event ticket. Here, Playoff 2 opening ceremonies. This is going to be an early race. So at 1:30 Central Time will be opening ceremonies, and racing will start at 2 o'clock. Also, Justin, Ryder, we have a lot of VIP experiences available for fans as well, upwards of 15 at each location. Thank you to your team. Fans are able to spend the day with you guys. So please make sure to check out supermotocross.com for tickets, as well as VIP experiences and anything related to each one of these events. So with that, again, athletes, congratulations, amazing year. Looking forward to getting this kicked off next week, and looking forward to getting out there in a couple cars. So I'll give it back to Mr. David. Thank you.